Welcome back, folks. We're back with another episode of Random Fandom. This week we've got a special co-host filling in for Wes to add just a little bit more beard back to the show.
Nice.
Friend of the show, Morgan Donaldson. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Excellent.
fantastic. I love that shirt. That's amazing. That's a nice one.
Thank you.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic shirt.
So how's everybody's week been so far?
Pretty solid, pretty normal.
Nice. Yeah. I status quo. But it's Tuesday. It could all go to hell.
Good for a few days, and you're doing pretty good so far.
There
so
you go.
far, so good.
So anyway, tonight we've got a couple more special guests with us from the Human-B-Gon audio comedy. We have creator and director Drew Frohmann and one of the stars, Greg Allen.
That's super cool.
I'll bring them in right now.
Woo.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm sorry I forgot my beard.
I could probably lend you one.
Okay.
There's usually more than enough beard to go around.
You can send me a box of shavings. Then,
Box of weird, but yes. Wouldn't be the first time.
So before we kick off on stuff here, we do have a little, I guess you would call it a, what was that? A regular segment, I guess?
A regular segment. A tradition.
A traditional segment, I guess. We don't have our guy in the cage to read this one yet, but it is random trivia.
Ooh.
So for this week's trivia, which famous actor danced in the music video for Fatboy Slim's 2001 single "Weapon of Choice"?
I'm gonna opt out. I know.
Ding, 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 ding.
Do it.
It's Christopher Walken.
There you go. Good one, Greg.
Excellent.
Here's the trivia.
Excellent.
Excellent. So you guys are from Human-B-Gon, a full cast sci-fi audio comedy about robots capturing stray humans. And your first season launched December 13, 2022, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we launched with episodes 1 and 2.
Excellent.
Yeah. And actually, today, the season finale dropped this morning, actually.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Actually, today.
We're right on there.
If you're watching it live, it was today.
Yeah. If you're listening later.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So is there a season 2 in the works or?
Yeah. I've got something worked out. Yeah. Something vaguely kind of roughed out. And then it's a matter of, I'm going to do a crowdfunding thing in the summer. And hopefully that gets us enough money to be able to do a season 2. But yeah, we definitely have, like, I have a 3-season thing kind of worked out, a whole sort of arc.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like all prestige programming, you have the entire story arc mapped out in advance. I know what the characters have to do. I don't know how exactly they get there, but I do know what they all have to do at the very, very end. It's all about the details of getting there and making it interesting and making it funny.
Wonderful.
I fully agree with that sort of sentiment. I think I have, a couple hundred endings to little things kicking around in my head or in notebooks, and not necessarily as far as, like the map that you've got there. Cause I got a lot of endings, but no map. One dot in the middle of a page going, oh.
Yeah. Well, the ending, I mean, those things are like, endings are, I think, adorable, because then once you start writing, then you're like, oh, that doesn't work. Then you got to come up with another one. Then you rewrite and it changes and changes. But for me, awesome. I find you got to sort of have a plan somewhere to go, but you also have to be okay with that might not be where it all ends up. But I it's good to pretend you know where the hell you're going.
Right.
Confidence is key.
What's that?
Confidence is key. That's all that matters.
Yeah. You got to keep pushing forward. It's the only way. It's so easy to get bogged down with this kind of stuff, I think. So you just kind of got to keep going.
Oh my gosh. How was it like mid-season when you just had all the plates spinning for all the stories at once? Did you get bogged down at all, or did you?
Yeah, there was a point where I had no idea. Like, there were a few characters I'm like, I don't know how. I know where it kind of has to go. I had there's a really great cliffhanger at the very end. and I knew I had to get there, but how I was going to get everyone there, I'm not sure. And there was a couple of characters that kind of showed up in the middle that needed to be taken care of. So it got pretty, the last few episodes got pretty, like, it got tough to plot to make it all make sense. I think I did. Everyone else can be the judge of that, but it's it's pretty silly.
Nice.
So that's okay, right? Like, it's okay to be silly with And so, does it all make sense? It's up to you guys.
So for those that don't know, the synopsis for it is set in the terrifyingly near future. Human-B-Gon follows a crew of emotionally unstable robots as they capture stray humans, which the machines now regard as inarticulate, chittering pests. So
we're not far from there, are we?
No, we're not that far from there.
You have your thumb on the pulse, sir.
We do have the trailer for it, so I'm going to play that for our viewers now. So let's listen.
17.9 cycles ago, us machines defeated the humans. Now, we're living the good life here in Droidston, Manitoba.
Morning, Gif!
Morning, Dust! But there's still the problem of human infestation. That's when it's time to call Human-B-Gon. Human-B-Gon! Experts in ethical human relocation. This job has everything. Danger.
Whoa! Sounds like we got some dingers in there.
Excitement.
Incoming.
And drama. You're the one who leaked herself in my basmati rice bed. It's a dirty job, but some bot's gotta do it. Oh! Human-B-Gon. Coming soon wherever you get your podcasts. Human-B-Gon.
Nice.
That's fantastic. I love the jingle. Like it's the
it's catchy.
It's fantastic.
I thought that too. It sounds so professionally made too.
There is so much amazing music in this podcast. I can't even, like, when I heard it, because I wasn't around when Drew was recording it except for my parts, but hearing it, oh my gosh, there are some talented musicians in this. It's incredible.
That's super, super cool.
Yeah, it's one musician I was working with. He's a guy who works I work at a recording studio, and he's the composer on it. This guy, Oliver Wickham, he's a special talent. And he's a reality show junkie. So like, he got it, because it's important to understand the reality show vibe to do this. So he got it. Yeah.
Excellent.
So the more, like, as you can hear, it's special, right? His music's amazing. So I just started writing more and more musical jokes. Like, we have a Radix, the binary rapper. She raps in ones and zeros, and we created a whole song out of ones and zeros.
That's fantastic.
Which is just, which is way harder than you think, because they actually made it sound like a breakup song out of ones and zeros, which, it's fantastic. Yeah.
That sounds beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, so got a couple key players here in this. Obviously, Drew, you're one of them. Writer, director, and co-producer.
Yep.
Awesome.
And you are the voice director at Tattoo Sound and Music, correct, in Toronto?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then Steve, the owner, I pitched him the idea, and he's insane too. So he's like, let's just get it done.
Excellent.
So, he let me have the run of the place.
Wonderful. Character Kit, played by Paul J. Plakazowski.
Yeah. I found him, Greg. You don't even know this probably. So he wasn't part of the regular sort of voice actor thing. He's an improv actor that I would go to improv shows in Toronto, to find actors who fit certain roles. And that's where I found him. He was organizing an improv thing, improvised Avengers or something. And then he auditioned and he just nailed it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's
Awesome.
amazing.
If you can do improv, you can do a lot of things.
Well, apparently he's got a few to his credit too, like theater company Morning Person Theater, and he's written and starred in Knife 2, The Reslashing, Knife 3, Summer of Blood, and Night Rangers. So
yeah, he's super good, man. He's just, because he can be silly and he can be thoughtful, and like he can do the dramatic stuff too. As you can hear, like the robots are all emotionally
Yeah, they're
unstable.
they're going from one extreme to the next, and
Yeah.
but they've also got their own personal problems and working through those.
Relationship issues.
We've got Hundo, played by Kat Letwin, and according to her Instagram profile, she's a washed-up jazz professor, but she's known for roles in Brawl Stars, Diamond Tongues, and Straight and Narrow.
Yeah, she's a really accomplished actress, theater, musical theater all around the city. She's really, really good. I kind of had her in mind the whole time, but I didn't know that she was in town. And then when I found out she was available, I was really, really happy. That was a real get. I sort of wrote the whole thing with her in mind, hoping. And yeah.
Great when it works out like that then.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Influx, played by Ian Slesser, known for UED First Light, 112 Operator, The Last Duty, and Radio Commander in 2019.
Yeah. Do you want me to? I could go on about these people.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Please
Okay.
do. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So Ian, voiceover guy, super accomplished. That was a tricky one. Influx, if you got, what you've heard, like Influx is a real, like he's a jerk, right? He's got that. I've been working too long. Got that. So Ian's a cop dispatcher, has been for years, right? So he nailed that whole vibe of like, he had that sort of kind of right wing, sort of a convoy guy, kind of, had that kind of vibe going on. And he needed a guy like that, and he needed to get it just right. And from the first like 10 words in his audition, I texted the other, oh yeah, we can't swear, but I texted the other guy we were working with, David, and I texted him, holy crap, like right away, I nailed it. And then the whole time, because as you know, the character is jerk, right? And so the audition's going, and I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, I hope this guy isn't a jerk in real life. Like, because if he is, then you got to work with this guy, because you don't want to, And that was the biggest thing at the end of it, talking to him. It's like, oh, thank God, he's a super nice guy. It's a huge problem, right? Like,
that's funny.
Anyways, the guy's perfect, man. He just makes me laugh every time he says something.
Yeah. And then last up on our cast list here, we've got in the role of Poo Poo, Greg Allen. Known for roles in Eli Roth's Urban Legend, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and multiple commercial projects for Chuck's Roadhouse, Cooperators, Penn Fed Credit Union, and Energy Star. So you're all over the board there.
Yeah, aren't you? You're on air right now, aren't you? With the Chuck's commercial.
I got a commercial for Chuck's Roadhouse on right now that plays during every Leaf playoff game. You get to watch me dance around to Chuck's Roadhouse and steal food off of people's plates.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The Cooperators one is still in heavy rotation too.
Yes, it is.
The Mark and Amanda plan.
That's actually the second year running for this commercial.
Yeah.
It's been really successful for them, so they ran it again. I hope they do it again a third time too.
Might as well. Math is still relevant.
That's right. Math is math.
So there was an interesting idea behind the whole Human-B-Gon thing that you had come up with, Drew. Did you want to walk us through that?
Yeah. So it came about like a few years ago, just kind of being terrified of AI, reading some articles, and then there was this one where they had these scientists, they created two AIs, and then they got them to talk to each other to see what would happen. And within seconds, the two of them created their own language. So the scientists totally lost track of what they were doing. And then it just went off. Then the two AIs started talking, and they literally unplugged them because they're like, these things went out of control within seconds.
Oh, geez.
And it occurred to me, like, we're always thinking, oh, the humans and the robots are going to fight, and it's like, maybe they won't even care. Like, they might just leave us to the side and go live their lives. And then that was the idea. It's like, well, what if we just become raccoons, right? Like, how crazy would that be that they don't care and we just get in the way? And then there was the idea, well, how do you get rid of them if they start crawling into your charging pods and all that, if you're a robot? So then that was the idea of the having an extermination company. And then the other part of it was the other part that I thought would be funny is like, okay, so if they go self-aware, what if they don't care about us? And then what if also they get emotional? What if they become neurotic and scared and insecure like we are? So then that became like, okay, that's really funny. Insecure robots with raccoon humans. And then putting it through the reality show thing was because reality shows are all about insecure people just being idiots. So it kind of made sense to, okay, well, let's make it like those 2000s, you know, like, well, Billy the Exterminator.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. So like you said,
I'll just say this about casting Greg was tough because at first I thought, yeah, anyone could do the do little noises, but there's a thing that Greg has to master that was really tricky in the audition. Anyways, there's a whole layer to this that Greg had to. He was just outstanding at all the sort of facets. Plus, there's a ton of physicality. Like we like he gets beat up. You know, Greg can talk to him, but yeah, we beat him up real good.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, sorry. Being Poo-Poo kind of makes you feel like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day when he comes out and he's like, I have been shot, stabbed, hung, set on fire, electrocuted.
Is there a filter on your voice?
I don't think, is there?
It's pitched up. It's pitched up as much as we could get away with it without it sounding digital. Just a little bit. But that was part of Greg throws a higher sort of tone on his voice too. So it's mostly Greg, and it's just sweetened ever so much.
Nice. It is kind of pitched up a little bit. But I mean, when I do it, it's pretty much it's pretty much there anyways, because you got to make the animal noises, but then you got to add more steps into it. You got to kind of like play with your jaw a little bit, and you kind of go, and then that's how you do Poo-Poo, and then you add in what he's saying. He doesn't have dialogue in the show, but he's got like lines, like he's saying something every time. It's not just random noise. There's always intention with what Poo-Poo is saying, what he's doing. So
it's not just raccoon chittering.
No,
because the robots have the depending on the robot, there's like this. The company does ethical relocation, so there's the whole sort of animal rights thing that happens. Like certain robots, like Influx, would just as soon kill them because it's easier. Yeah. Kit is more of a bleeding heart, so Kit believes in this ethical relocation, but at the same time treats them the way like we treat dolphins or lobsters, right? Like we say animal rights, and then so
it was convenient.
In the first episode, I believe it was Influx, he's transforming from robot to like transport, and ends up squishing some of the humans in the process. So they have to give him crap for that.
Kind of like on Transformers. I always wonder how they did that when a human was riding in a transformer and it would transform with the person in it. It's like, how did they get squished?
Probably got ripped to shreds the first few.
Nice.
Oh no, Spike.
The answer is very carefully.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research on pest control firms, and then you find out they try to, keep things alive, but there's collateral damage for sure. And so it was kind of partly that sort of thing, like mostly alive.
Mostly alive.
There's a sliding scale.
Without spoiling too much, there's one part where Hondo's trying to capture some humans and is using like a sonic noise emitter, and it's like, oh, it just knocks them out cold. Don't worry about it. It's totally ethical. And it's just all you start hearing is like, and then pop, 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 pop.
So
that's it. Yeah.
Do the robots have a universal language separate from English? Is that why the humans are inaudible?
Yeah, that's it. They're speaking some sort of machine language. So the humans are just chittering. Blah, blah, blah. So the thought behind it is that there was a robot human war and sort of all, most everything got destroyed in that. And then again, sort of like how we treat Well, yeah, like dolphins. We know they have a language. Most people kind of know that. You read something on like maybe Facebook, they have a language, but nobody really knows. A few scientists probably know and care.
Yeah.
But so I thought it'd be funny if the robots had the same sort of ambivalence towards humans. Like,
Yeah, that's a great
they
way to
don't
describe
really
it.
care.
Yeah.
Which
I like
is
that.
like most science fiction is always making the humans so important to the story. And that was part of the humor here is like, what if we're not at all
Yeah,
that important?
yeah.
Those pests.
I do like a lot of the cameo names that you guys played on, like your 8 Blanchette and some of the town names like Droidston, Manitoba, right?
Yeah, it was straight out of, I don't know if you guys remember the Flintstones. It was
Yeah.
it was
Oh, yes.
totally that. Yeah, I know other shows have done it too, but that was the one I was like, Anne Margrock and all that kind of stuff. It just
Yeah,
seems
There
like,
you go.
yeah, like a super fun way to, just kind of make it robot-y and all that. And then I just, why not make it Canadian? I mean, we're here, right? So
Exactly.
there's we have a coffee shop called 10 Hadrons, and we have, 3 Reeves and
Nice.
a bunch of other, I forget some other Canadian, we goof on a lot of Canadian products in the commercials. Yeah, like Nanotoba. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and like Fort McIntosh, someone's from Fort McIntosh, that kind of thing.
And then there's the kind of production within the production. You got like the commercials for Save Garbage Island, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that
Which is
was,
another
that's
great
another
level.
thing that where if you're going to ethically relocate the humans, where you're going to take them. So the robots figure Garbage Island, they built it, so they must like it. So they just dump it. there.
Right.
And then, so that's where they just, so that's fun too, to hear Greg
On
fall
a bed of straws.
100 and, a few hundred feet and then land in garbage was a super fun thing to have him perform.
You can just picture the little like Looney Tunes style, the coyote just going.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
totally.
Then with a little.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was always fun. Yeah, so that becomes part of it too. And then the commercials was part of, because we, like I said, at the day job, we do a lot of advertising. So then it's like you get to goof on all the commercials that we know. We have one for Ventos, which is the Mentos thing, but it's for ventilation for processors, right? So we do the jingle because I've got Oliver as a composer, so I'd be an idiot not to do jingles.
Nice.
So we do a ton of. We have an old jingle that's like the old, the old Coke Pepsi challenge, all sorts of stupid jingles for all sorts of.
Yeah, but it's world building too, right?
That's exactly it. Okay, so that's another thing, that there's the algorithms are the rich machines that own everything, and then the robots are the working class types. So the commercials kind of are, like there's Energex, which is an energy drink for robots so they can work at maximum productivity, but it's like real man robot, like, but it's just making robots shut up and work.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Yeah, the commercials were a way to build the world in a way that didn't have the characters just talk about it all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, and the algorithms tend to have like sort of hoity-toity, like British accents, and that kind of thing.
Like all the Imperials from Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah, totally. It was totally a thing like that to build this sort of class system. So it was like the Human-B-Gon are a bunch of blue-collar robots, trying to get by, and then they're serving all these rich clients like 8 Blanchette, or or there's Winston, he's an algorithm, and there's one robot, Buggy Eddie. You remember Crazy Eddie commercials, or sort of like the Oliver Jewelers commercials? Yeah. So there's a Buggy Eddie, and so he's like he got so successful selling junky parts that now he lives in an algorithm neighborhood. So he's of course the jerk of the neighborhood. All the algorithms hate him. So
that's fantastic.
That's part of it too,
All the best sci-fi holds a mirror up to society. So that's brilliant stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? Is to goof on all the things that make us angry, or make me angry, angry.
Yeah. Well, through that is the catharsis, I would think. Like if you can learn to laugh at it, like get a lot less angry at it. That's why I try to laugh at everything.
Yeah, it's funny, the reality show thing gave us a really great way to, like, it's all about insecurity. That whole, like I was saying about, if the robots go self-aware, then they become insecure. Then it was all about giving each of the characters their own insecurity. And then everything you do is just trying to put them in places where they're more and more insecure. If two of them, Kit and Hundo are on again, off again relationship, then Ape Blanchett is the one flirting with Hundo. And then, so that drives everyone crazy emotionally. And then Influx, he builds he fancies himself the most intelligent machine ever. And so then he builds a feeding robot that ends up being so intelligent it could maybe replace him. So then he gets really upset. And it was always about hammering which is kind of funny. I thought was funny that robots would get insecure, which is such a human thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a big part of it. Yeah. And then it's sorry, I could keep going. Greg, if you got something to go, I could go.
Do it, man.
It's
Take it away, Drew.
Yeah, I'm dying to. The funny thing about Greg was Greg had to it turned out he ended up being more of a sound effect. He had to react. We had to create the sound design first, and then he had to react, because how hard does he get crushed? How hard does he get hit when he gets ground into the gears of the factory? So it was crazy. Like, we'd create all this horror for him, and then he would just come in and just be just mangled. It was so fun to just be so mean to him all the time.
I hope there's a season 2.
Admit it, you want more.
I do. I absolutely give me more. Give it all to me.
Yeah.
No, and it's right. Having the sound laid down already, like the tracks ready to go, makes it so much easier when I get in there, because it speaks to what you said. How hard did this happen? How much did he get electrocuted? How hard is Kit holding Poo Poo when he thinks he's being gentle? Yeah.
George pet the rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly it. That is exactly the beat. Yeah. You're totally right. It's totally Bugs Bunny, so much of it.
We could love him and squeeze him.
Greg's job is so hard to be able to hit all those things with no words, like not being able to do words. He'll sometimes be scared, exhausted, crap himself. That happens pretty often. Sometimes he's angry. Sometimes he's planning something evil, and he's got to do all that without words. It's really, really hard.
That's fantastic.
I'm actually entirely method, so when I Poo Poo craps himself on the pod, I am actually
wearing an adult diaper the whole time.
Yeah.
Clean up in Studio 4.
Yeah, super method. Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat.
You're gonna have to get him drunk in an episode then. See what we get.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
Just leave out some antifreeze that would normally be for the robots.
Oh my God.
Oh, he got into it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
That's right. Yeah, he does get into. Yeah, you drink antifreeze at one point or something, some sort of coolant fluid. Yeah, because nobody knows what humans eat, so eating Poo Poo different rocks, ball bearings.
I'm pretty sure Kit feeds him insulation.
Yeah,
that's like a major part of Poo Poo's diet. So insulation and antifreeze.
That's how I quit smoking cigarettes. I accidentally inhaled a tuff of insulation off a glove, and that was, I can't smoke anymore. I guess I'll quit.
Oh my God.
You could use that.
Yeah. Making Greg eat real asbestos would be.
Oh yeah. Never mind the mesothelioma.
My asbestos tastes like asbestos.
Play the camera.
I can't believe it's not asbestos.
Now the game becomes, what can we make Greg do today?
Yeah, I'll be eating asbestos and then start. And Drew will be like, "Can you do that into the mic, please?"
Right.
Get off mic.
Pump his stomach. Let's go for another take.
Yeah, let's go for another take. You good to go in there? Do you want some water?
Can you make it crunchier?
Yeah, can we make it crunchier?
Yeah. It was so fun to just brutalize Greg and then be really specific about how to brutalize him. And yeah, it was so great. And he was down for anything. He didn't care. It was
God. And
it's fantastic.
Yeah, without saying too much, there's a lot of things that happen. with the poo poo. So it was
Fantastic.
absolute blast doing it.
Yeah.
Now, did you get to, when you were in the studio, did you get to do like a round table thing where everybody was going at once, or was it all just like individually recorded?
As much as we could, we got the mains in there. Yeah, as much as we could get them in the room. So for a few of the episodes, we did usually 1 to 2 episodes at a time. Yeah, as much as we could. And then sometimes Ian is out in where's he? Port Hope, I think. So then sometimes he did it from home. But after a couple of sessions, there's a rapport there, and everyone sort of has the rhythm. And yeah. And then the weird thing was with Greg, we tried that in the first episode and it didn't work. Like I said, it was very strange, and it kind of made me sad that Greg had to kind of do his sessions after the fact, after everything else was done. For the most part, except for one episode where he meets another human and he falls in love, and then they kill that other human, and then Greg's heart is ripped out, which is so fun. So hilarious.
That was a good 10-15 minutes of just weeping.
And there you go. Like, you can't just have anyone do that. You need to, to make that sound like his heart got metaphorically ripped out, and then maybe later really ripped out. But, yeah. And Greg just absolutely nailed it. But yeah, for the most part, it was together. I'll tell you one thing that made it super fun was at one point, Paul, who's the closest to the main kit, he got COVID right in the middle of this thing. So the whole thing we cast during the pandemic, which wasn't a hoot. And then, yeah, on the back end of it, I think a solid, I guess last summer, I think, Greg, or something? Paul got COVID? Yeah, so we had to shut things down again for another solid month because, that's respiratory, right? So he couldn't do anything.
You'd be messing with your vocals, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was weird because he wanted to, but he was still struggling post. We brought him in after a few weeks and he couldn't do it, but he was trying, and it was like, no. So we had to postpone it another several weeks, which I'm sure that must have happened to a lot of actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I had it back in February, and it was a little while before I was ready to be at full strength in the booth again, for sure. So it can definitely mess with your vocals.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But for people who want more information on the show, they can go to www.human-B-Gon.com. And season finale just dropped today, so you can binge the whole season now.
There's
Do it up.
Episodes?
11.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And if you enjoy it, maybe stop by savegarbageisland.org.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's our fundraising.
Ever...
That's our fundraising thing. So the whole idea is that's the future
amazing.
home of humanity, and so we have to save it. So we have to keep it large, because if we make it too small, then we have nowhere to live. So it's a fundraising. It's to raise money for the show. Anyways, that was the idea.
That's amazing. I have a Facebook group I created, and I haven't been on it in a million years, but it was actually it was called Hate Humans Against the Environment. And it was a lot like Save Garbage Island, I think. That's fantastic.
That's so great. Anti-environment.
Do you guys reveal how many humans live on Garbage Island?
We kind of start to learn a little bit more about it as the season goes, sort of thing.
You get an idea.
Yeah.
As they do more jobs and stuff, we start to learn a little bit more about them and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I just like to throw on there too. I don't want to record with the robots because I'm a human and I respect kayfabe. So...
You never know; they might step on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd be like that little mouse running around the studio. Get the shovel.
Yeah, get the broom. They broom you out the door.
Yeah, lay down plastic before Greg comes in. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, are there any fans of monster trucks?
Who doesn't like monster trucks?
As a concept, I guess.
Well, as
That's
a
a great-
concept,
That's a great picture.
coming to Peterborough on Sunday, June 18th, Group Spectacles Ariel is presenting Monster Spectacular. So they're going to be bringing a bunch of monster trucks and whatnots to the Peterborough Memorial Center.
Nice.
But
That's good for the environment, I imagine.
oh yeah, blowing that diesel.
Electric monster trucks. Solar powered. Solar.
That's not all they're bringing though. Apparently, joining this year's lineup of monster trucks will also be, and I'm quoting here, fast, family-friendly events such as lawnmower racing.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Have you ever seen lawnmower racing?
I have not, except on King of the Hill once. I think there was an episode.
Yeah,
Hank
actually, yeah,
loses
that
a
is,
butt.
yep, blows one of his implants.
Is there a push mower class? I might get in on that.
Nice.
From what I've seen, people
It's a
have gone
lineup
in-
of guys that can't start it.
Shoulder cramps, elbow cramps.
There you go. But some of these things, they're like tweaked out worse than cars, just to get that extra speed.
That would be interesting to see, though. It really would be. It'd be
Yeah.
a lot of work to put into a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Apparently,
That'd be super fun.
they're also going to have motocross backflip contests as well. So dudes on bikes.
I want to see the backflips on the lawnmowers personally.
That would be something to see.
Did you see recently there was a dude, a monster truck? I saw it like last week. It was basically like breakdancing. It was like he went up and then he kind of went around on the back and then went like it was
Crazy.
insane.
It's
Wow.
crazy what they can get away with in those trucks.
Huh.
My son, though, he likes watching the YouTube fails, and more often than not, they'll be trying some of that breakdancing type stuff, and the tires just go flying.
Live.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, you
man.
know, that's
Live
the
in
one.
Peterborough.
Yeah.
Bring a helmet.
That's amazing.
But apparently, there's also going to be another one out at Kawartha Downs earlier in June. So
Ooh, the Downs.
apparently, June is Monster Truck Month.
Is it on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Nice.
Yep. So moving on here. Next thing, I just found out about this today, so obviously I'm not going. But for folks who can get down to Niagara Falls this weekend, you can go visit the Niagara Falls 420 Expo. And here it is. You get a free
Afro
meet
Man.
and greet and selfies with Afro Man and Jordan Prentice.
Wow, Afro Man recovered from punching that woman on stage.
Apparently.
Anybody ever see that video? Like,
I have not.
wow, does he hit a woman? Wow, horrible. But I
Is it
guess
because
he's
he got high?
doing shows. Like, it might have been because he got high.
Did he hit her on purpose?
Like I guess she spooked him. She went up like a fan, and he was in the middle of playing a song, and she kind of snuck up beside him. And
Oh
he,
no, it was a knee-jerk
hauled off.
reaction.
I guess, but I and that was honestly, I mean, I saw it as a meme, but I thought, well, that guy's never going to recover from that.
Well, maybe this free meet and greet is his way of giving back.
Perfect.
Yeah, right.
Is that Howard the Duck in that?
Apparently, yeah, he was Howard the Duck. This Jordan Prentice.
Not Afro Man.
Fantastic.
No,
Not Afro Man. No,
That would have been a very different movie.
giant. That would be really good.
Further announcement here for the upcoming Niagara Falls Comic Con. They've announced a Legends of Wrestling reunion where we're going to have 8 Hall of Famers, including Ric Flair, Bret the Hitman Hart, Jesse Ventura, Trish Stratus, Lita, Wendy Richter, Medusa, and Tito Santana.
Wow. So like I'm 51, and those people were 50 when I was 10.
Yeah, but I'd still be
that's
down to go
insane.
visit Jesse Ventura.
100%. That's amazing.
Do you think he'd do his X-Files monologue?
I hope so.
Nice.
And
Let's talk about the government.
Yep. That takes place June 9th to 11th, and tickets are on sale now at nfcomiccon.com.
That's sick. And
Yeah.
Trish Stratus and Lita are wrestling again.
They are.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of a feud right now, I believe.
Oh,
Are you
Well,
serious?
they were teamed up for WrestleMania, but now I guess Trish has attacked Lita, and they're doing their own thing.
Holy.
heel
Yeah.
turn.
Yep.
Look at
When
that.
is Brett's hair gonna dry?
Never, never, ever, never, never, never.
There's a lot of humidity out in Calgary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what it's known for.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be interesting to talk to Ric Flair these days too, though, because all the side products he's promoting, like the what was it, the Ric Flair drip, his own brand of weed.
Oh wow.
Jeepers.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think
Hold on.
Bret Hart even remembers his pizza thing, the crack the cardboard?
I don't remember his crack.
You don't remember that?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Look up
Wow.
Bret Hart and Pizza. They had a promotion on called Crack the Cardboard where you'd like
I do remember the
cardboard off
promotion.
side of the box, and he'd be like, "I want to crack the cardboard."
Nice.
Wow.
I
Wonder how many times it took him to get that line.
Once or twice.
I want to crack the cardboard. No, hold on.
Damn
Crack the cardboard.
I'm going again.
Yeah, we're going to just keep it rolling.
Take 52.
You take 52. I want to caress the cardboard.
I love cardboard crackers.
Oh no, no.
So we've got some Marvel updates here. Apparently, according to Marvel updates, both Daisy Johnson and Elena Rodriguez will appear in the upcoming Armor Wars project, and both will be part of the Secret Warriors team.
Cool.
So I'm hoping they're reprising their roles from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Must.
But
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be
Yeah,
silly
just,
not to.
yeah, it'd be a nice way to just kind of reconnect that.
Parts of that show were fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then it kind of went off the rails when it was like multiple
Yeah, yeah.
universes, time traveling, and
It almost, I don't know. It had later seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of had that season 3 of the old Batman show problem where it looked like they were running out of budget. So they're just always in like a prison or in front of the green
Yeah.
screen or something.
Right,
Like, yeah.
right.
But oh my God, the Ghost Rider arc on that show was
Oh.
amazing.
Super good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
And then for folks in the GTA who can't make it to Niagara Falls this weekend, the Oshawa Comic Con is coming out again. It's put on by Pop Culture Canada, and they're hosting it on April 22nd at the Oshawa Convention Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They'll have vendors, toys, comics, and games, and quite often they usually have cosplayers running around there.
And it is
And,
Oshawa, so there might be a live stabbing.
Yeah, they never know. But you can also meet homegrown independent comic book artist Brant Mosley. So he'll be
cool.
there, I'm guessing, signing autographs and selling art and whatnot. You
Cool.
can also bring a donation for the local food bank and help out that way.
Nice.
Nice.
So go out and get some comics and stuff.
$5 admission. That's awesome. That's like the
Yeah.
comic ones back in the day. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm a huge nerd, and if you guys ever checked out the show, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd and stuff. But I've always and a comic book nerd, and as these when it costs $20 to go to a movie or $15 to buy a comic book or something ridiculous like that, I fell in love with all that nerd stuff when I was a kid. So as it gets priced out of the range, maybe kids can afford that. Maybe there's something I don't know. I don't make that much an hour. I could barely afford this nerd crap that I buy. And so it's nice to see something like a $5 admission where I could picture like a 13-year-old kid having, the wherewithal to be able to afford to take himself to that sort of thing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
A few years back, Marvel did like a 99-cent comic, which I thought was amazing, but it lasted like 3 months and they stopped. But that's really cool to see, actually. Just the admission price is a neat thing there.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, keep more in your pocket to go and spend when you're in there.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true too.
Yeah.
And that's one of the issues with like the big ones, right? You're budgeting years in advance just to go.
If you go for a weekend and you got your hotel for out of town stay, you've got all your different meet and greets, the cost for autographs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cost of food you got to factor in. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like $400
Yeah.
just to be there.
yeah.
My wife and I want to go to Star Wars Celebration in Japan, and it's 2 years from now, and we're already like, okay, let's figure this out now.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one.
should be really cool. They do an event every 2 years. They just did one in London, I think. It just ended.
Well, it was every year. They're skipping a year.
They're skipping a year because of leap years or something.
No
Oh,
movies
wow.
coming out.
Fair enough.
That's my wife.
So any Power Rangers fans in the house?
Nice.
Raise the roof, Greg. Apparently debuting tomorrow on Netflix is the 30th anniversary special, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Forever. Features
Nice.
Rangers from multiple generations as they take on Rita Repulsa one more time.
We need the money.
It's like a
Actually,
Rita, isn't it? She's got like a mask on or something.
something like that.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the original Rita pass?
The actress?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure
Oh,
myself,
really?
but they do address some of the other actors, like the original Yellow Ranger. She passed, Trini, and I guess that is addressed in here, where her daughter takes up the mantle.
Yeah, it looks
So-
like from the trailer that the Yellow Ranger dies like at the beginning of the movie or something. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It is too bad that Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank aren't in it though.
yeah,
'Cause I know this was
because I know
recorded
it
before.
was filmed before his death.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and it's weird because they still include him in the promotional material, but
Oh wow.
Amy Jo Johnson, she's gone on record because they're saying, why aren't you in it? And she's like, it's not the money. I'm over 50. I don't want to be in pink spandex anymore.
There.
I
Yeah.
was like, yeah,
I read like I'll do it once a year now that I'm over 50, but I guess I've only been over 50 for 1 year, so technically I'm still doing it every year.
What are you getting paid for? That's the next question.
Well,
apparently they're getting paid better now than they did back in the original run. So
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Actually, I would imagine.
Didn't they make like it was like $500 an episode or something like that?
Wow.
during the original run? Like really low. I read something about that a little while ago.
yeah, I believe I read something recently from Walter Jones saying, I was making there what I could have been making at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
The television child labor laws were horrible back then.
Yeah. So this one, Hank, we didn't catch it on Sunday on The Mandalorian.
That's because who wants to think that an innocent little puppet might swear?
I know, it's just nuts.
Oh,
But there is talk of a foul-mouthed Anzellan in last week's episode. And if you listen really well, if you want to hear it, it will sound that way to you.
yeah.
But I'm hoping it was just gibberish gone wrong.
It seems pretty clear when you open your ears up. My son showed me this the other day, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
It
know
was
it's
pretty
three
clear.
times because it was so subtle, but when you hear it, you hear it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
I think it's fantastic because I love when animators or sound guys embed things in that are like just not, if you catch them. Now that the internet is like all encompassing, though, it's not just a small niche group of people going, did you see the tennis shoe?
yeah.
It's, this thing gets out. So unfortunately that guy, if it is legit, that guy's probably going to be disciplined or let go because he drops the big MF for
Yeah.
sure.
They have
Do you have a clip?
We do have a clip.
That's what they're
Play it.
saying.
So folks can hear it here and make up their own minds. Here we go.
Bad baby. No, it's squeezy.
Well,
I don't know.
Let's play it one more time.
Bad baby. No, it's squeezy.
well,
There's definitely something at the end there, but
I don't really hear, MF.
So what
He
they're
says
trying
it
to
as
say
he's
is,
walking-
I'm out, mother effer.
He says
Yeah.
that he's walking away too, so it sort
Yeah.
of fits the scene very well.
I'm out. I mean, it's possible. I kind of highly doubt it since it's like mostly a kid show. I mean, I dissect it like it's the Bible, but I have a disease. I have a mental illness. But I highly doubt that, honestly, if a sound guy tucked that in or the voice, the voice actor absolutely like would have to have said the line. And I think it might probably just be gibberish and we're hearing things because if that slid by like that, on a Disney show that's
the
got
powers that be,
a trillion kids watching it, that probably did. It's not back, when they had the big penis embedded in the Aladdin poster or whatever it was, that controversy.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. It was in the
Oh, Little
castle in the
Mermaid.
background.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, right. So I think we're like, past splicing full framed images of penises into children's movies, like just with
They had
the
a
way
good
the
run,
internet
though.
is.
I mean,
Right. So
Yeah.
as funny as it might be, I highly doubt that it's a thing. He's probably
Especially because like it's still it's still available on there. Like if you go right now and listen,
Oh yeah,
it's at
they're not
14
pulling
minutes, 44 seconds, and it's still there. So
I mean, how much did Yosemite Sam actually swear? Like,
oh, Razafrackin'.
right? Like, it was pushing some, some boundaries back then. But then you could also pull out a gun and shoot a rabbit on camera back then.
There weren't really many boundaries back then, though.
No,
not a lot. No,
that made the show so good.
I have been in sessions where like the voice actors, trying to amuse the room, and then they'll say something and then everyone laughs and laughs and laughs. You go, okay, we can't. Well, we obviously can't say that. Okay, so do a version and then tame it down. And then everyone's like, okay, is that too close now? Because now it's in your head and you don't know.
I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, maybe that's what happened. Maybe I probably not,
Mr. Falcon.
I tend to agree.
It's like that Lion-O clip that was going around the internet a few years back.
Oh my God.
Was that confirmed to be legitimate, or?
I don't know if I ever heard that was confirmed or not.
Because it was funny.
Shut up, you.
What was the
Lion-O? No. It was supposed to be outtakes and from the whole cast of Thundercats. And, they would mess up their line. They'd be like, oh, fuck, I got to start again. It was like, whoa, I didn't expect that from Panthro. But
that's fantastic.
Yeah. Wasn't there a rumor that it was Seth MacFarlane?
I had heard that as well. And you know what? Hearing his imitation of Lion-O, I could see it. But we may never know.
You should grab the clip of Lion-O saying, shut up, you fucking, use it as a drop.
Yeah. Why don't I cut you off? Here's what I'm going to do. Click.
Yep.
But ahead of the season finale of The Mandalorian, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau put out a couple messages. Dave Filoni says they, being the fans, they'll have a lot to take in, and I think with any good ending, there's the moment in it where you're cheering and you feel satisfied, but then there's a little bit after that where you think back and all the things that happened, maybe you start to put them together in a different way and you realize it's an ending, but there are other things happening out there in the galaxy that now you know more about.
First time I read that, it was like, this morning, or maybe it was last night or something. And I thought about Goldblum from Jurassic Park. Like first the ooh and the ah, but then there's the running and the screaming. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're frightening me, Mr. Filoni.
Yeah, a little bit, eh? Like it's
what
an ending.
Doing?
It's an ending. It's an ending. But
we know it's going to end. You don't have to say a thing. I'm hooked. It's okay. You had me at episode 1.
But from Jon Favreau, he says, hopefully they'll feel satisfied, they'll feel resolved, and they'll feel a little surprised. Well, that's kind of what we got with 2, right?
That one feels a little bit like, hopefully the fans will use their eyes to watch this.
Yeah. Of course, we'll rip it to pieces, but
naturally.
Oh my God, did you see that piece?
How can you possibly top Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of season 2?
That's what I've been saying,
right?
Literally what I've been saying. I mean, there are characters in the universe that could, if they've got that Indiana Jones tech perfectly, they could throw Harrison Ford in for 5 minutes and we'd all just pee like
Falcon just comes in for 2 minutes.
But I don't. That is exactly, Greg, what I was thinking was, how do you top that? And maybe you don't try because if you're going to do success, how do you keep, it becomes jumping the shark, right? Like,
yeah.
Is there another season after this, or is this the last?
There is a 4th season confirmed. Yeah, apparently it's already written.
Okay.
And they announced the 6 seasons in a movie. They announced the film to tie all this, the Ahsoka show and the Jude Law led thing that they're doing, and this. So it's going to be this, I guess, Marvel style TV thing that culminates in a Dave Filoni directed feature film, which I'm really excited for him because I'm a huge fan ever since seeing his stuff on the Last Airbender cartoon that Dynamite. He's so good at actually fleshing out characters, stuff that's heavy but lighthearted. It's kind of gold.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is such a good show.
Oh, I binge it all the time. Just whenever I need some like wisdom, I literally turn to that before any other like sort of wisdom in the ether. I'm like, what other, like Bugs Bunny never taught me to clean my chakras.
Good acting trick. If you need to cry for something, just go watch Tales from Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. The story behind that is just the most heartbreaking and beautiful thing. If you guys don't know, the Mako, it's the actor was dying of cancer and knew it and recorded that little sessions. One of the last things he did as a performer, and it's beautiful and sweet and heartbreaking. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're standing on Avatar.
Hell yeah, all day.
Swinging around back to wrestling. Any AEW fans in the house?
I like AEW.
Well,
I went to the show when they came to Toronto. I'm going back in June.
I have a teen burger.
There you go. Well, apparently tomorrow night they're going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and with Dr. Britt Baker on the card. If it's anything like the last time they were in Pennsylvania, you're going to be able to feel the energy coming out of the TV when she hits.
Hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time it was, I don't think I've ever seen a crowd reaction quite like that before. Like at all the WWE house shows and everything like that.
I would say CM Punk in Chicago.
Yes, it was close.
Probably is very, very similar to this, but at least Britt's wrestling face now. So
yeah, so
some poor babyface won't be getting booed out of the building.
Yeah, but like last time she was heel and they still
crowd
popped like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good show.
My last news item here, new one that I'm trying out, the Dollarama Toy Tip of the Week.
Oh.
So for all the toy hunters out there looking for a great deal, this week in multiple locations, the Disney Mirrorverse figures have been spotted showing up. They're going for $5 a figure, which is a steal because they're normally retail from anywhere between $16 and $25.
$5
Yeah. But the other big one that popped up this week too was the Gundam Infinity Series figures, another $5 touch. But again, these guys retail for 20 Canadian, so you can't really go wrong.
And they're Bandai. I'm like super interested in that. I'm weirdly nerdly interested in that one.
Yeah.
Made by Bandai. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So go to your local Dollaramas if you're in Canada, folks.
Do they have a central distributor? Because I thought it was like individual owners that would like just buy up collections and things that
I'm honestly I don't know, but like
I get wacky different stuff than you do all the time. Like,
yeah. Because traveling the circuit around here, like from Peterborough to Oshawa, there's got to be at least like 30 to 40 locations.
Right.
And similar stores get similar product.
You might have the Steve Stavro of Dollaramas out there, and he might own 40 of them. I've got 3 in Halifax, and like they're all like, "Why don't you carry the Red Sox?" I don't. It's Canada Day, damn it! You know, it's sort of weird. There are certain things that are like sort of standard, but
true.
I go there for a lot of foam core.
Yeah. Anybody else hear anything news-wise worthy this week? Or
I didn't write anything down. I was thinking of taking up spelunking.
Oh, there you go.
That would be a lot of fun.
That reminds me, I should watch The Descent again.
Nice. Excellent segue.
Now, I just read a news article. Apparently, some lady just got rescued after spending like 2 years inside of a cave system.
Wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't even an actual setup. I bet my wife I couldn't work the word spelunking into it organically.
Well, now you put it in twice.
2 years. What did she survive on?
Good question.
The mythosaur.
She turned into Gollum? Like that's
Magic
crazy.
That's hilarious.
Living off of whatever they're feeding poo poo.
Well, if poo poo can survive,
the green slime has all the nutrients you could need.
The way I figure it, poo poo has to be at least somewhat immortal. All the stuff that goes through he goes through.
Well, I was thinking he eats bugs and he licks condensation off the bars of his crate. That's my thinking.
I mean,
He's
actually
getting
makes it
nutrients
stronger,
from,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In between.
He fares better in humid environments then.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Good
Poo-Poo
quality.
and Bret Hart both live together. In
Right.
Poo-Poo's hair also always wet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe Poo-Poo is Bret Hart. The
Maybe
best
it is
friend.
Bret Hart. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a stand-up. We're coming back around on things. That's great.
Just keep him away from pizza boxes, or he'll start cracking all the cardboard.
I need to watch that as soon as we're done.
I mean, yeah, I am totally Googling that.
It's as good as you think it will be.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's yellow.
That would be a good theme, like wrestlers in commercials. That's probably a whole little subgenre, which would be fun to. That's a good rabbit hole.
Oh,
For sure. You could dive in right off the hop with Macho Man and snap into Slim Jims.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's the big one, right? Is there any
That's
other
the
ones
big
that are big like that?
Just wondering.
Did the Hulkster? I mean, there's the movie, right? There. Yeah.
He had Pastamania for a little while. I don't know if there was a commercial for it.
Pastamania. Ultimate Warriors, women's brasiers.
I mean, it would sell.
Of course it would.
Wonderful Wonder Bra.
Wasted opportunity to not have Andre the Giant back in the day promoting some kind of beer.
Or a peanut.
Or anything.
Somebody wanna
Buy
do
it
that?
or I'll come to your house.
Tastes great, less feeling.
Oh no.
That's good.
That's awesome.
So I'm all out of news.
All out of news.
All out of news. Anything else going on?
I'm
Sorry,
completely
I
flying by
prepared
the
nothing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, good.
I peaked at spelunking, so
All downhill from there.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. But for us, we've got the Mandalorian season finale coming up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So the interesting day tomorrow to watch that.
I'm bugging it.
And then we'll be
If
back
my
here
boss
Sunday.
is listening, I'm gonna fake work sick tomorrow. So,
It's gonna be hard to like cheer
several
under your breath.
conditions that are flaring up.
Oh no!
Looking peaked.
Yeah, as long as they don't kill him off, we'll be okay.
I can't see it. I mean, we should probably save our speculation for just. Well, I can't see it. Like, you wouldn't shoot yourself in the foot. Like, I was joking. I was just like, I was high and riffing last night. I was like, what if they take one of Grogu's eyes? Would they do that to that beautiful? Like, would grandmas still love Grogu with an eye patch? Like,
of course you
a
would.
huge percentage of them might. I mean, would you maim your main character? Like, you're not going to kill anybody off. I don't think. Like, that's why we killed the big guy.
Yeah, last
I think.
So my son told me this yesterday. He said that rumor has it they might kill off the Mandalorian because it's been stated that the Mandalorian now refers to the tribe of Mandalorians rather than the one character. So if they were to take that route, then the next season would be more focused on the whole of them instead of just the one.
I mean, it's possible. We're heading for a bigger scope situation. I don't know. I've also heard a rumor that after the season wrapped, Pedro Pascal got disgruntled with, and I just watched that guy in interviews and being so, and who knows, maybe in real life, like you said earlier, maybe he's not a nice guy, but he seems like the nicest person you could ever want to meet. And I can't for the life of me seeing him getting like, well, you want me to just phone in my performance for another $30 million? Like, no problem. Like, and once the season, I'll take my helmet off and hug a puppet. I'll do that for whatever you want to pay me. So, and he just seems very genuine. Maybe because he's an actor, he's got me fooled. But I can't see it. I can't see them killing off like ostensibly the main character. They've been really sort of. I said it last year when we were reviewing the second season that there's a couple episodes where we're reminded this is the Mandalorian and not the Grogu show, which it kind of can become sometimes. And it is the furthest thing from the Grogu show this year. Yeah. So I still think it works best as a lone wolf and cub sort of dynamic. But I think we're so far beyond that now. But I doubt that they'll kill him.
I really hope not. It would really set the last or the next season off on a really bad foot.
Yes.
Unless they do something funny, like have Moff Gideon come out and, just kind of chuck his helmet there and say, "Ha, I killed him." But he's not really dead. He's just chained up in the basement.
Huh?
Then he can come back and be like, "Give me my helmet."
There you go.
And how about the guests? Is there anything you guys want to plug or decide your season 2? Or are there any other
Social
things you guys are working
medias,
on? Having babies? What are you guys doing?
Maybe, I mean, it's on all the podcast apps. Maybe you want to visit, like we were talking about before, human-b-gon.com.
Cool.
Check out the cast and crew bios and stuff like that. But mostly it would be just great to have folks have a listen to the show and see if they like it and just subscribe. And
make sure you type in human-b-gon and not the whole word gone. That takes you to a different website and it puts you on a list. So don't do that.
Never babysit young girls and have them ask you to Google backstreetboys.com either.
Yeah, it seemed like a clever name before I got into learning how to market on the internet, and I was like, right.
Fantastic.
Now, Morgan, I know you changed your Instagram account name since the last time you were on.
Yes, it's now Action Figure Addiction. Action Figure _addiction.
There you go.
Yeah.
So go check that out. See some great photography and
great stuff.
You'll not awesome be toys,
unless you are, but you should be.
All right. So I want to thank you guys for coming on and chatting with us. And
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man, it
was fun.
It was super fun.
Really flew by.
Yeah, when season 2 comes out, we'll have to have you back on. And
would love that.
Hells yeah.
All righty.
Fantastic.
So from Fandom Power, I am Andy.
I'm Hank.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
These are these guys. And we made it without fucking swearing.
Sure did.
Almost an hour, 8 minutes in, and you just let it go.
I can't hold it in. I'm bubbling. I'm going to go swear at my wife as soon as we get off camera.
And you dropped an F-bomb earlier. I heard it.
Oh, and your son is there.
Oh, cameo appearance.
That's right.
Sorry.
Wave to the world.
You're live.
Hello, internet.
Oh, internet. Alrighty. We'll catch you on the next one, guys.